Hey, what's up and welcome back everyone to another Warzone 2 video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the best loadouts that you should be using on day one of Warzone 2 and the first few days as we kind of get a feel for the meta. Now, obviously the meta is going to constantly be changing, right? Whether it's something's broken and they have to quick patch it, or we're able to do some number crunching and really figure out what the perfect meta is. But these guns are going to treat you well no matter what in Warzone 2. Why? A lot of people have ran the numbers on the best TTKs, and I'm giving you a lot of those guns here. But more importantly, I've taken all of these guns into game, and I have tested them all in the firing range, and I've built the attachments out to have actual good feel outside of just good stats, because the way the gun feels is more important than just the stats behind it. Now, don't forget, tomorrow we'll be releasing a full settings video. That's PC graphics settings, that's controller settings, that's mouse and keyboard settings, because there's a lot of little settings that you are missing out on that could be affecting your gameplay. And I know we're all eager to get in the game, but take that few minutes, really make sure you're ready to go instead of finding something out like a week later that's really been screwing with your gameplay. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. I'm not going to waste your time. I'm going to give you, in my opinion, what I think is going to be one of the most dominant guns up front, and it is the RPK. Okay, but before we get into that, actually, I do want to discuss real quickly kind of like perk philosophy. So we just recently got an update. There for a while, it seemed like we weren't going to get a primary and a secondary in our Warzone loadouts. That was actually a bug. Okay, we actually now have official confirmation from the dev team that we will, with a loadout, we will get our primary and secondary, a lethal and tactical, and the perk package, which is your two main perks, your bonus perk, and then your ultimate perk. So we have tactical, we have lethal. We'll go ahead and talk about these real quick. Tactical, lethal, I'm going to lean towards heartbeat sensor. Okay, we are away from the days of Caldera where we are out in the open and we've got a long expanse where we can see everyone out in front of us and you're getting beamed by zero recoil guns. We're now getting into urban environments again. We have to clear out buildings. And with the audio in this game, which is actually pretty good, people are going to be playing really scared. And so that heartbeat sensor could possibly help give us a little bit of an alert of where someone may be camping. You've got some other options. A snapshot's only a one-time use. A stim, I don't think stims are going to be as good, especially since we're not out in this open and we need a stim into cover. We're going to be inside a building. So I think the heartbeat sensor is going to be the wave again. For the lethal, I always rock Simtexes. I think, once again, with working with these buildings, we possibly could deal with some campers pretty well with the drill charge, which could be an option as well. But fortunately, as we go through the map with the backpack system, we'll be able to carry multiple different tacticals and lethals based off the scenario. Getting into the perk package though, okay? So this is kind of how I would rock every single loadout. This would be my default perk package, okay? So we would go ahead and rock Overkill because that allows us to hold a primary and secondary weapon outside of like a pistol or a launcher. And then we can have Bomb Squad. So we've got a couple different options here, right? So extra tactical, I don't think it's going to be super useful. We can just pick that up off of someone's dead body or off what we're looting. Strong Arm allows us to throw something farther, but I don't really think we're going to be in that many scenarios where we would use it. Tracker could be nice, but we've had it for the past few years and no one's ever really used it. Bomb Squad is our EOD. And with people being able to stack multiple tacticals and lethals within their backpack, and with armor plates being a limited commodity, I think EOD/Bomb Squad is going to be more valuable than ever. Okay, so if I could only pick two, I'm going to pick Overkill and Bomb Squad. The other one I might pick is Battle Hardened. It actually doesn't mitigate flashes that well, but it helps to mitigate stuns quite a bit. So my three that I would lean towards is definitely Overkill, maybe Battle Hardened, most likely Bomb Squad, and then if you're wanting to be a demon moving around the map, you're probably going to rock Double Time. Outside of that, when it comes to the bonus perk, there's really only one that I would rock, and it's going to be Fast Hands. It allows us to throw grenades faster, allows us to put down like trophy systems, dead silence, all this stuff, and most importantly, reload faster. So I think Fast Hands is pretty much going to be used by everybody across the board. You have Resupply, which is basically a restock, which I probably wouldn't use. Spotter, Cold-Blooded, Hardline, and then Focus, which might not be bad, reducing flinch, but I still am probably going to lean towards Fast Hands. And then finally, I really would be kind of in between three things here. It would be between Quick Fix, which is when you get it down, your health will regen back up. Ghost, but the thing about Ghost is the whole game has changed, okay? In a lot of ways, people are going to be popping UAVs like they used to. One, people, in order to buy their loadout, or at the very least buy a primary weapon, are going to have to go into the loadout or the buy station, right? And then buy an individual gun for like $13,000. It's not like they can spend $10,000 and everyone on their team gets their primary, secondary perks, right? So a lot of money is going to get dumped into the loadout system and less into UAVs. On top of that, there's like a limit where people can't buy individual, like spam buy UAVs. You can only buy like one UAV at a time at a buy station, and then it goes on a timer, and then you can buy another one. So UAVs aren't going to be getting spammed as much. The only thing I could think, obviously, is heartbeat sensor. But for me, I'm gonna rock high alert. Okay, I am a hunter when I play. I like to hunt down other players. So I use a heartbeat sensor to hunt them down, and then I use high alert just in case I'm getting flanked to have that awareness, right? I don't need to have ghost for someone using heartbeat sensor against me because I'll gladly welcome that fight. I just don't want to get caught off guard. So I would suggest rocking high alert. Other ones you have are bird's eye, which I don't think would be super useful, and then survivor, which I'm not really sure how this would work in battle royale. We're gonna have to test that, but that's kind of my theory on the perks. Field upgrades we would pick up live, and then now let's get into the class loadouts of the day. If you guys have enjoyed the video so far, if I've provided any insight, something you haven't thought about, if you learned something new, make sure to drop a like and subscribe for more, because we're gonna have so much Warzone Academy content coming your way here in the near future. Now, as we actually get into this and I start to show you these classes, the first couple classes, I'm gonna kind of expound on some things and tell you why I'm making attachments, the reason I am. And it's really important for the fundamentals for how you're understanding Warzone 2 and how you need to build your classes moving forward. As I kind of set those fundamentals, we're gonna rip through the rest of the classes. You'll be taking screenshots nonstop. I'll show you them real quick in the fire range, and then we'll get through this video because I don't want to waste your time. So let's get into it real quick. We're talking about the RPK. Now, one of the things that you'll notice with all these guns is I am rocking suppressors. Unlike with Modern Warfare 2, you do show up on the minimap whenever you shoot unsuppressed in Warzone 2. From all the footage that we've seen for Call of Duty Next and the most recent, that is the case. So I want to rock suppressors so I can stay off the minimap. Now, the RPK has one of the fastest time to kills. It's not the fastest, but it has a fantastic reload speed, and it's really controllable with its recoil, especially when we build it with the 5.97 barrel, the VOK optic, heavy support stock, Demo X2 grip. Now, there's a lot of suppressors, and there's so many different suppressors. Oh my gosh, what the heck do we rock? You'll see here the cons are aim down sight speed, aiming stability, and aim walking speed. Those are the three cons that are getting worse. If I need more recoil control, I will sacrifice my aim walking speed. If it's controllable enough, I'll go to something else like this, where I don't sacrifice my aim walking speed, but I get the same benefits: damage range, recoil smoothness, bullet velocity, sound suppression. But if it's still a little bit too shaky, I will sacrifice none of the benefits. All the benefits stay, but I will sacrifice my aim walking speed, which means I'll be a little bit slower so I can have more of a laser. And that's what I do with this gun, right? It's an LMG. I know I'm not going to be, whipping around corners with it, but as you can see here, it's still plenty mobile as you get around. And while the aim down sight isn't crazy fast, you'll see the damage is plenty strong and will be a threat, especially if you ever were to mount up, which you can mount up basically anywhere in Warzone 2 and just completely rain down hate all the way across the map with the RPK. This is going to be one of the dominant guns because of look how fast that gun reloads. You can just rain down hate, throw in a quick reload. It's got all the benefits of an LMG with the mobility-ish of an AR. Now, what are we going to pair with that? Okay, we need something that can handle that mid-range, right? Because we have an LMG. We need something that can handle the mid-range and definitely handle the close range. And it's, in my opinion, the best SMG in the game. You might be like, Isaac, the AK-74U shoots 5.45. It's not an SMG. True. Technically, in this game, it is an assault rifle. I would agree with that classification. But the nice thing about this game, unlike Warzone 1, where we had a set allotted, we have 210 AR bullets. That's no longer the case anymore. We have a backpack, and we are dedicating slots to ammo. So whether it's a stack of sniper and a stack of SMG, or a stack of AR, and then a stack of another AR, it doesn't matter if we double up AR anymore, because we're not fighting for 210 bullets between both guns. They both have their own large pool of ammo supply, and that's what we have here. That's why we're rocking the 74U. We got the 45 round mag, so it's a little bit more mobile, or so we got a little more damage we can put out. The True Tac grip, the Ultrazat stock, the 5.209 barrel, and the covert, once again, for this. And for these, I haven't tuned anything. You can tune as you see fit to kind of help you out to make the gun more controllable or more bullet velocity. As we do individual gun focused, I will show you all the tunings. For now, either A, don't tune because it's not negligible. I mean, it can make anywhere from like 3 to 5% difference is what I think it's exclusive Ace was saying. I understand I may have gassed up tuning. I am still thoroughly convinced that the ammunition does not register correctly and there's more damage being put out, but until I can run those numbers, I'm not going to fight that fight. As far as you're concerned, you can be without tuning and you'll be just fine. I am rocking the covert suppressor, and once again, you kind of can see here, I have the benefits and I only have 2 cons, aim down sight speed and aiming stability, because I want to keep my aim walking speed because this is a strafe gun, right? I need to use this strafe because it's an SMG. I need to be able to get up and move around, and you'll see this gun, great movement speed, able to get the gun up pretty quick, even with a 45 round mag. Keep in mind, this isn't an SMG, but it can absolutely fry someone down, even at long ranges. I mean, that's where the AR comes in. This could be a fantastic sniper support as well, but at close range, deleting people. Keep in mind, the AK-74U, if you guys weren't tracking, is banned by the pro scene because it's so powerful. Now, unfortunately, with a lot of these guns, it seems like when you add a suppressor, and this is realistic, a lot of the gases don't escape out at the muzzle of the barrel, and those gases are brought back into the player's face. This is exactly what realism would happen when you add a suppressor into a gun, and you can see it adds a little bit of smoke out in front of your face. It's less noticeable when you're strafing away from the smoke, but just keep in mind that will be a thing when you add suppressors to the gun. There's a little bit of visual noise. They always bring a lot of visual noise in at the beginning of games, and then they tone it back. So I think that'll eventually be brought back in line in the future. Okay, moving forward onto some other guns. We have the TAC, or the SCAR. The loadout that I have here is the Tundra Pro barrel, the Echolist. Once again, for this one, we don't need that aim walking speed, right? So I'm not picking up the heavier suppressor. We have the Slimline Pro. The only time that I would emphasize tuning is bringing the eye position to far. What that does is it brings the red dot farther away from your face and makes the visual recoil less. We have the Brute Stock, and you can put up to a 60 round mag. Unlike in Warzone 1, we can actually rock the SCAR and quads. It's a dang good feeling. I've got it with 40 rounds in this one, and the SCAR feels just so dang good to use inside of Warzone 2, Modern Warfare 2. I mean, just look at the damage. Even with the red dot, you're able to fry down people from long ranges, and it's just it hits like a truck. You know it's putting out really good damage. I don't really need the 60 round mag, maybe if I'm playing quads, but I'm really excited to finally be using the SCAR inside of Warzone 2. To pair that up, we have the Fennec, also another gun that got done pretty dirty inside of Warzone. Is now a very, very, very viable gun. So we don't rock a muzzle here because we actually have an integrated suppressor barrel with the Fennec Covert Force. We have the Pineapple Grip, the Fennec 45, the Fennec Rubber Grip, and the Slimline Pro. Once again, tuning that Slimline to be in a far eye position for less visual recoil. The Pineapple Grip is probably like the best grip going around right now. It's because it helps out with recoil steadiness, which is one of the most important recoil metrics to mitigate. True Game Data did an entire video on the types of recoil and how you should build your attachments. Highly recommend checking it out. It's a really cosmic and over-the-top video, but long story short, recoil steadiness is very important. And you will see here, this gun is going to be a lot of fun, and it's also going to be very, very, very deadly at close ranges. You can see here, it's got the SMG mobility, kind of moves around really fast. You can still get it up pretty quick, even with that extended mag, but it fries. And the nice thing is it's actually viable. I mean, that's 25 meters. Like, obviously this, just delete it. But even 25 meters, like, that's really, really good. We've never had the Fennec be viable at that range. Most of those bodies would stand up faster so I could shoot them. But I think this would be a dynamic duo. I think the Fennec's going to be one of the best solos and duos weapons out in the game right now. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you are finding yourselves taking a little screenshot, do make sure you are subscribing here to the Academy. We had a lot more value coming your way here in the coming weeks with Warzone 2. So next up, we have the Kastov 762 or the AK-47. This is like the RPK Lite. So it's got the same time to kill as the RPK because they're both shooting 762, but it's going to be a little bit more mobile. With it being a little bit more mobile, it's going to be a little bit more shaky. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at it. All the fundamentals there are going to be the same. You can see hits like a truck. At those longer ranges, it's going to be shaky. So if you're using this gun, it's definitely like a high risk, high reward, high skill gun. And just know that while you are putting out a lot of damage, It's not going to be as reliable as something like the RPK at range, but at these mid ranges, especially if you were to use it possibly as like a sniper support or like a red dot AR in the city, it's going to do just fine. Kind of went through that one quick. Once again, make sure you're getting your screenshots. Next up, we have the Lockman Sub. Okay, Lockman Sub is like one of the fastest killing guns in the game, but it is a very high skill gap. This is the high skill gap class right here. Okay, kills incredibly fast. Both of them do, but they both got some shake. Okay, so it's going to take some skill. We got the stockless mod, so we can move around really fast. We have the 50-round drum, the pineapple grip. We want to rock a suppressor on there as well, and the falcon as well. And it's going to be tougher to control. I'm going to be honest, every gun in this game is tougher to control than any of our previous CODs, which is good, right? Our time to kill may be the same. And frankly, we went from 150 base health and 150 plates in Caldera to now 100 base health and 150 plates. So our health pool has gone down, but it seems like magazine capacities are going down. It's not like everyone has an automaton with, 75 round drums or the UGM 125 round drum. So the overall magazine capacity is going down, and the guns are harder to control, and they have more damage drop off. So it's like all these things are lowering the effective time to kill because they're harder to use, which I think is a good thing. But as you can see, I mean, it just, it melts. Like melts. And like you can see, you're moving around pretty dang fast with this gun. You can get it up fast. Obviously, if you're rocking solos, you don't need to be rocking the 50-round mag. If you're rocking it solos, duos, trios, you can maybe switch to something like the 40-round mag. But the Lockman MP5 is definitely going to be a staple in the community for those sweaty players that are wanting to put up big numbers and also want to move around fast. Next up, we have the Grau 2.0. Okay, it's the Lockman. If you guys didn't know, we got the 60-round mag, the G79 stock, the Slimline Pro, the Wrap Barrel, and the Harbinger suppressor. I say Grau. Oh, sorry, screenshot. Because it's, you'll see. Yeah. This is very likely going to be the meta in the first couple months of Warzone 2. Not necessarily because of the fastest kill, but because of the effective TTK, of the fact that people aren't going to be missing when you're shooting like that. I mean, even if you're moving around the map, I think part of it's like the interior lighting with like the way they do the lights here is it really accentuates that smoke. But this gun is just going to be, it's going to be a problem. Not to mention if you're mounted and you actually were to like mount on a wall or something, like it is legitimately not moving. So the Lockman, if you're a zero recoil type of guy, that's going to be your go-to. Vesnev is actually a very reliable one as well. We got the Otrazat stock, True Tac grip, the 45 round mag, the SA response, and once again rocking it suppressed. You guys are gonna have so many corny pictures of me in your screen. I'm sorry. But the Vesnev is one of the most consistent guns to use right now inside of the competitive scene, and it's for good reason. Good movement speed, even with that 45 round mag. Keep in mind, we're not rocking multiplayer guns anymore. We have suppressors on them. We have extended mags on them. So it's not gonna be as mobile, but it's still going to be something that we can use consistently and still dynamically. And keep in mind, we're not slide canceling across this map, but we still need to move with aggression, okay? I understand a lot of people think that there is no skill gap in this game. It definitely is not true. There is more of an aim skill gap than ever, and there's a little bit more of a timing and finesse skill gap, along with a little bit of a movement one as well. If you guys see down on my hands, this is actually my controller. This is the custom IceManIsaac scuff designed for the Academy. It's got those paddles there on the back, okay? And what those paddles allow us to do is actually to remap our face buttons, right? So I can actually jump using these buttons back here where I don't have to take my finger off. When I'm doing jump shots, I don't have to jump and then take it off, or I don't have to do bumper jumper and start jumping with my thumbsticks, or play how you're used to playing. Oh, I want to show you one other thing too. I'll show you it on the pistol too later. There are digital triggers inside of here, so they're little mouse clicks, and you can just rapid fire this thing. I'll show you it on the pistol I've got later. This really is going to allow you a little bit of a competitive edge against your peers, being able to move around and hit shots that you probably shouldn't be able to hit because of the precision and the ergonomics of this controller. All right, next up, we have the RAL LMG. This is the RAL. This is the fastest killing gun in the game as far as I'm concerned, or as far as I'm aware. Okay, it's slow, but it hits like a freaking truck. We got the side grip, Reaper, Demo Field, VOK, Demo 40. And it's going to be sluggish. It is 100% going to be sluggish, but it's going to hit. Like bad. It's going to hit. Now, unlike the RPK, it's going to have a slower aim down sight, and it's also going to have a significantly longer reload. But as with all things, there are trade-offs. If you were to mount this up anywhere, now all of a sudden you're going to be a problem for anyone crossing a field, sitting on a heady. You're going to take them out before they have any idea that you're even aiming at them. It's going to be gross. Next up, we have the Bryson shotgun. Now, I'll be honest, this build, I'm not 100% sure on. But what I am 100% sure is I have seen multiple clips of people with full plates, or at the very least 2 plates and full health, getting 1 pumped. Say that again. 100 base health, 100 plates, getting single pump by a shotgun. It's happened to me personally at COD Next, and I've seen clips of it happening at the most recent one. Shotguns, they may be barrel stuff only, but they definitely are going to hold their place. So what I did is I just threw the longest barrel on it. I threw the choke. I threw the explosive rounds, stockless pistol, and the slimline. Like I said, this is not a build that I'm like going to put everything behind, but what I will say is that there is a shotgun build out there. I don't know what it is yet for Warzone 2, but when we find it, it's going to be a problem, especially if it has to do with these explosive slugs, which are basically like slugs, but they also do a lot of damage and seem to not have a damage drop off. So I'm not sure what the shotgun class is yet. Keep in mind, these are multiplayer bots, right? So a shot to the chest will kill them. That doesn't necessarily mean a shot to the chest will kill a Warzone player, but just keep an eye out for the shotgun meta. It might be creeping up sometime soon. Next up, we have the EBR. This is gross, okay? This is really, really, really nice. We got the VOK optic, 20-round mag, Boremaster barrel, VX pineapple, and polar fire. Okay, normally I'm not about the DMR life, but I saw Breadman rocking this at the, I think he was playing it during a DMZ mode, and it made me realize how dangerous this gun could be against actual players. Okay, keep in mind, 2 shots to the chest. These are multiplayer bots, but it's got that spam potential whether you're mounted up. You need to chow someone close. True Game Data ran the number on this, and this has a faster time to kill than I believe things like the Scar and the Lockman. Not as fast as something like the RAL, but it's going to be lighter on ammo, and you can just... the fact that each individual bullet does more than an AR makes it worth it. Next up, we have, if we're using something like a sniper or a marksman rifle, we need something to cover the mid-range, and that's what we have here with the AUG. C11 Riser, Slimline Pro, 42-round mag, VX Pineapple, and Covert Suppressor. Gives us a really strong mid-range gun that can also reach out pretty dang well, right? Once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you are interested in checking out this stuff, you can check out the link in the pinned comment or the description. Huge thank you to Scuff for being a long-term partner of the channel. And finally, we have the sniper. Okay, so we have a sniper that I'm really worried about, and it's the semi-automatic sniper. And all snipers have significantly less bullet velocity and significantly more bullet drops. So snipers are a lot harder to use in this game. Snipers also do not guarantee a one-shot headshot when people have 3 plates. I've seen multiple clips of people using this sniper, which is the strongest sniper in the game, and it does not one-shot headshot with 3 plates. A lot of people have asked for like helmets or you know, something along those lines to prevent one-shot headshots. And I think that's their way of accommodating for that. They're not giving us a helmet equipment, but they're saying, hey, if you are full plates, full health, you will not get 1 tap. Can you get 2 tapped? If you're not full plates, are you feeling like 1 tap? Yes. And that's what this sniper build is for. Keep in mind, 3 armor satchels aren't guaranteed. You have to find a 3 armor satchel on the ground to then be able to put in 3 plates. Otherwise, you can only put in 2, which you can get one-shot headshot by this. We have the cheetah grip for the faster aim down sight, high velocity because I want to be able to get the bullets down range faster. OMX barrel, FTAC Reaper, and 5-round mag. And while it's not the snappiest, it definitely is going to be kind of the staple sniper in the game. Keep in mind, it is one shot to the chest here with multiplayer bots. It's going to be one shot to the head in Warzone for people with 2 plates or more if they have 3 plates. Keep in mind, there is significantly more damage range drop off. Bullet velocity is still solid, but you are going to have to lead at ranges for that bullet dip. The very last one that I've got for you right here is the X12. This is your pistol. We start off with the X12, but when you build an X12, it's a totally different gun. Okay, so we have the Sidewinder barrel, we have the Forge suppressor, the Lightning Fire, rapid fire 24-round mag, and then the Cronin Lima rear grip. And like I was mentioning earlier, with these digital triggers that allow me to rapid fire, this gun is just a lot of fun to use. Even at those medium ranges, like there's no reason a pistol should be hitting this consistently at this range, but it can. And the nice thing is, if I wanted to pick up Ghost, or I wanted to pick up High Alert, or, you know, if I wanted to pick up, in this situation, if I wanted to pick up 2 primary perks like Battle Hardened and Bomb Squad, or Battle Hardened and Double Time, I could pick up a pistol that's going to be very, very competent, and I'll have a lot of fun using with that rapid fire and pretty impressive time to kill. But ladies and gentlemen, that wraps it up. Those are the best loadouts heading into the first days of Warzone. Make sure to stay subscribed here because I will be doing like really nitpicky classes on each individual weapon as we find the perfect build for it and find the more refined meta as we have more time in game. But I spent a lot of time on this video. We are getting so close to 500,000 members of the Academy, almost 500,000. Help me hit that milestone by subscribing here, dropping a like here, and most importantly, make sure you're coming back tomorrow for those graphics settings video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you all live over on Twitch. Peace.